Right. So in the number representation, integer representation, the first method was sign and magnitude, but you know, it has some errors. So one is that issues actually, one is positive and negative 0. And the second issue was the subtraction issue. If you want to subtract something, so it is required to actually, if there's a positive and negative number, you have to subtract from the, actually subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. So that issue was also there. But actually using this ones complement mechanism, so the first issue was not solved. First issue was means like negative 0, positive 0 issue was still there, right? Because when you convert this, here see it, so this is positive 0. But when you invert this, you will get the negative 0. So the sign is 0 means it's positive, all zeros, positive 0. Then sign is 1 means negative. Inverted zeros will become 1. So this is negative 0. Therefore, ones complement has solved the problem of subtraction. Even though ones complement has solved the problem of subtraction, the problem was, right, when it comes to right, what do you call, when it comes to addition and subtraction, both the negative and positive zeros are there still. So that is, again, it's not resolved. But in addition only method was used instead of subtraction. But there's another one that is called overflow bit re-addition issue. Okay, let's consider about 34 minus 12. 34, you know, 34 can be written as 32 and 2. Here 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 32 plus 2 is 34. And minus 12 can be written minus. So normally 12 is 1100. Normal 12 is 1100. We learned here. It is 1100. This is plus 0. And the minus 0 is inversion of this. So when it comes to minus 0, you can write 0011. Inversion of this, and all zeros will be inverted here as well, and it is minus. After that, what you have to do is add the numbers. So here you don't have subtraction. Instead of subtraction, you have number addition. Right? You can add the first number with the second number without subtract. Then you will get this one. So this is not the final answer. So why? So let me add the numbers. Let me show the addition process, and let me add the numbers. When we add 0 plus 1, it is 1, obviously. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 means you write 0 and remainder will be 1, because 1 plus 1 is 2. So remainder will be 1. Right, then that one you have to add and show it here. And then 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, remaining 1. And that one plus this one is also 2 to remain in 1. And that one plus this one is also 1, except 2, remaining 0. Sorry, put in 0 and remaining 1. Remaining 1 will be added again. Again, we last bit එක overflow වුණාම last bit එකේ මේ දැන් overflow වෙනවා කියන්නේ මේක එළියට යනවනේ. බලන්න 0.1 1. 1 1 දෙකෙන් 0.1ක් ඉතුරු. ඒ 1යි මේ 0.1යි. හරිනේ. 0.0 මෙතන 0.1 1යි. 1 1 දෙකෙන් 0.1ක් ඉතුරු. ඒ 1යි මේ 1යි දෙකෙන් 0.1ක් ඉතුරු. මේ 1යි මේකයි දෙකෙන් 0යි ආයෙත් එකක් ඉතුරු. ඒ ඉතිරි වෙන එක, that remaining one will be added again. That is called overflow bit re-addition. And after adding that, you will get 1 plus 1 is 2, remaining 1. So the A1 method denoted 1 0. So this is the answer. Answer is plus 22. That is correct, right? So 34 minus 12 is plus 22. But you need to add the overflow bit again. So that is the issue of one's complement. Okay, you can write the first issue. The positive negative 0 issue was there. But the subtraction issue was solved using addition only method, but still you need to add the overflow bit, repeatedly add the overflow bit again. So that is kind of headache, because in case of overflow, you have to bring it down and add it again. So addition is not going to be finished with one step, because in case of overflow එකක් වුණොත් විතරක් එකපාරින් ඉවර වෙන්නේ තව පාරක් මේක ඇඩ් කරන්න වෙනවා. overflow නැති වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. If there are no overflows, you can add one time. Okay, you can show this actually in the under ones complement. Please write the positive negative issue. Zero issue was already there, right? Because this is plus 0 equal to plus 0, and when it comes to this value, you can call that as a minus 0. The plus 0 minus 0 issue is already there, so it's not solved. But addition only issue, so that is solved, right? Addition only problem is solved. But even after solving that addition only issue, there's a small thing that you need to add the overflow bit again. So please write down that. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Remainder 1. That 1 plus 1 is 2. That one come here. 0, 0, 0, 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Remainder 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Remainder 1, and that one will go here. You can put an arrow and show that. That is overflow bit re-addition. Please write down this related to and also show the example 34 plus minus 12, and also show both examples, right? This one and this one both, because in some cases you don't want to add, you don't want to re-add. Re-addition is not required, but in some cases re-addition is required. Then, so solution to this problem, right? Solution to this problem is, so we have discussed two things now, but solution to this problem is coming from the next number system, that is 2's complement. In 2's complement number system, so in represented integers, so 2's complement is similar to 1's complement. That means positive numbers are represented similar way. So that means all three methods are same. For represented positive numbers, sign and magnitude, 1's complement, 2's complement, all three methods are same. So for represent positive numbers, but for representing negative numbers, sign and magnitude only change the sign. But 1's complement change the sign, and as well as magnitude is inverted. Sign එක change කරලා magnitude එක invert කරනවා 1's complement. එතකොට 2's complement, in 2's complement, so sign is again the same, sign is 1, magnitude is inverted, but after inverting it will add 1 to the number, right? So the negative number, it will add 1. So that is the difference, right? Okay, I think you understood the concept. The first thing is in positive numbers, all three methods same, right? 1's complement is same as 2's complement, and also that is same for sign and magnitude, that is for positive numbers. For positive numbers, all three are same, so no change, so no need to, then it's easy for any positive number, the method is same, so no need to worry about different methods. But for negative numbers, so in 1's complement you write the negative sign and invert the magnitude. But in 2's complement, you write the sign, negative sign, invert, and another thing is there, after inverting, you have to add 1 to the inverted magnitude. Here you are not doing anything, only the sign, no inversion. But here inversion is there. Here after inversion, you have to add 1. So that is 2's complement. But this 2's complement number system has totally solved all the issues which you had in 1's complement and sign and magnitude. That means no positive and negative zeros are there. So because of this inverting and adding 1, when once you inverted, you'll get, so let's say you have 0, 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for positive number. But for negative number, you are inverting that 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is 1's complement. In 2's complement, you add 1 to this. What will happen when you add 1? When you add 1, all these ones will become zeros. Right? All these ones, 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. Well, that 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. That 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. And this 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. That 1 plus 1 is 0, remainder 1. And you are not adding the overflow bit again. You are not adding the overflow bit again. Means, so positive number, positive 0 will remain positive 0. So there's no negative 0. In 2's complement, there's no negative 0. Right? That is the advantage. And in addition to that, you don't want to add the overflow bit again. Right? You don't want to add overflow bit again. That is also advantage of 2's complement. So the solution, ideal solution for this number representation is 2's complement. In 2's complement, what you're going to do in 2's complement, first you represent the numbers similar to the positive numbers. For positive numbers, for negative numbers, you represent the number and add 1 to the magnitude. Right? So then you have, I have given few examples about this. So you can just write that example 2, that is plus 32 and minus 12. How to represent that in 2's complement, it is also given. So please write down the head in 2's complement and also write down the way that you represent 2's complement positive, which is exactly similar to 1's complement and sign and magnitude. Negative, there's a difference. You have to invert and add 1. And this is showing how to represent positive number, which is very similar and similar to, right? So it's similar to the sign and magnitude 1's complement methods, right? This is how you present plus 32. And so if you have 10-bit register, this is how you represent. And so this is 127, right? 127. And so you have a few examples, right? Few examples, positive 127. And you can represent similar to the other mechanisms, right? After that, you can write how to represent minus 12. Actually, minus 12, that is different because you have to first find the 12, then invert and add 1. So this is minus 12. Okay, please write 2's complement and show in your book. And let me know once you write down this, please let me know. Then I'll give you some more examples on the same. Now we know 2's complement is the ideal solution for the problem, right? 2's complement is the ideal solution for problem because you don't have any negative, positive zeros. You don't want to add the overflow bits. Again, addition, re-addition of the overflow bits is not needed. Therefore, we use 2's complement numbers in calculations, right? Overflow bits are ignored, you can see. So same example, right? Same example. So you can write down this as the example for the given one. It will solve the positive and negative 0 issues, and it will solve the overflow bit re-addition issues. Also solve the subtraction issue because it has addition only, right? And you can see the implementation, the first one and the second one. Yes, you can see first one, second one, and third one. So I want to tell you one thing before actually we deconvert the number. So when you convert a number, you invert and add 1. You invert the number and add 1 to convert that to 2's complement. Right? If you want to convert that number back to sign and magnitude or the normal way that we see, so there's a magical way of doing that. Right? So normally we invert the number and add 1. What do we have to do? We have to subtract 1 and invert back. Because the invert kala ekak ekatu karapu එක ආපහු තිබ්බ එකම ගන්න එකක් අඩු කරලා invert කරන්න ඕන. So that is the usual case. But there's a nice method of converting that. Rather than subtracting 1 and inverting to get the sign and magnitude, you have another method that is invert and add 1 again. What is that? That means to convert the number, you invert and add 1. To deconvert the number, Again, you invert and add 1. That means same method can be used for converting, deconverting both. So think about this answer. Minus 32 plus 12. Minus 32, 34 plus 12 make it minus 22 and no. මෙහෙම තමයි අපිට උත්තරේ එන්නේ. හැබැයි මෙතනින් -22 කියලා මේක කියව ගන්න බෑනේ. -22 කියලා කියවන්න බැරි හින්දා අපි කරන්නේ මේක මේ sin and magnitude කරගන්න. sin and magnitude කරාම කියවන්න පුළුවන්. To do that we can subtract 1. මේකෙන් එකක් අඩු කරලා. So let's subtract 1 from this. Then this will become 1111001. මොකද 1010 තියෙන 1010 කියන 10යි. එකෙන් එකක් අඩු නම් 1001 9යි. එතකොට මේක තමයි ඒක ඊට පස්සේ ඉන්වර්ට් කරන්න. ඉන්වර්ට් කරාම sin එක තියලා ඊටු ටික ඉන්වර්ට් වෙනවා. You can see the number is මෙතන තියෙනවා 2කුයි 4කුයි 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 8 නැහැ 16. 16යි 6යි 22යි නේද 10 6 12 නෝ 16 6යි 22. ඒතර ඍණ 22 ඔන්න එනවා. හැබැයි මේ එකක් අඩු කරලා ඉන්වර්ට් කරලානේ. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව if you get this number, this is the answer now. If you get this number, so then just invert that. ඉස්සලම invert කරනවා. මොකද හැරෙව්වෙත් invert කරලා එකක් එකතු කරලා. ඒ විදිහටම ආයෙත් invert කරනවා. invert කරාම එනවා මේක. Then add 1. After inverting, adding 1, you will get same number like this. So that means you can use the same mechanism, invert and add 1, to convert from sin and magnitude to 2's complement. You can convert by inverting and adding 1. And 2's complement to sin and magnitude also, you can convert by inverting and adding 1. That is also a wonderful method. Right. Please write down this and show in your book. I think you understood, right? Did you understand that or not? Okay. So please write down this and show how to convert and deconvert. So these 2's complement numbers. Actually, we read in sin and magnitude format. That is easy for us. මොකද අපිට මේක ලේසි. ඍණ කිව්වා invert කිරිල්ලක් නෑ අගය. ඍණ 22. That is the easier way to read. But computers use 2's complement to represent the numbers because computers doesn't like addition. Sorry, it doesn't like subtraction. That's why computers use the other method, 2's complement method. Okay, please write down this part also. And with that, the particular part is done. Then we need to represent the floating point numbers. Actually, floating point number representation part was removed from your syllabus, but still you need to learn what is a floating point number. I'll explain that, right? Because still you want to learn that what is a floating point, that you have to learn. So I'll explain that part after this. Please write down this and let me know after you finish. Floating point representation part, that is also important. So when it comes to floating point representation, as I said, that is basically removed from your syllabus. But there's a way of representing that. So that is called IEEE 754 32-bit representation. In this representation, so let me explain how this is done. Before that, let me explain what is a floating point. But don't worry, you won't get IEEE representation questions. But you won't get any IEEE representation questions. You will get only integer representation part, questions from integer representation part. So floating point means, so can you see this number 2343.65? 2343.65, right? So that can be written by floating the decimal point to left side. If you float the decimal point to the left side by 3 positions, that is position 1, 2, 3, you can write this as 2.34365 into 10 to the power 3. Right. In floating point representation, so you can float, you can change this decimal point to any location. For an example, you can put the 0.2, 2.0. So here, the 0.3 positions left, mean 10 to the power 3. If 0.2 positions, then you can write 10 to the power 2. If 0.1 position, only 10 to the power 1. Can the high වැඩි කරාම අපව මේකම එනවා. 234.365 10 එක්වෙනි බල කියන 10න් 10න් වැඩි කරාම 2343 එනවා. ඒ වගේම මේක 100න් වැඩි කරාම 23.436 100න් වැඩි කරාම 2343 එනවා. 2.34336 10 එතකොට 3න් කියන්නේ 10න් වැඩි කරාම 2343.65. Right? So likewise, so you can see that, right? Likewise, you can see the value. And if you move the right side, so if you move the left side, so the value increases, the power increases. But if you move right side, right, you can see, you can write this as 234,365, but 10 to the power minus 2. Right side, it will deduct, it will reduce the value. When you go to right side, it will reduce the value. When you go to left side, it will increase the value. This is what called floating point. Floating point means no need to fix the decimal point to one position. Without fixing the decimal point to one position, you can change the position flexibly. If you move to the left side, it will increase the power. If you move to the right side, it will decrease the power. So that is what floating point is. A fixed point representation, you don't write any of this power. You just write the number. So it is fixed, no change, right? No change allowed. So basically, I think you understood. So what is floating point and fixed point? Actually, this part only you can see in your syllabus. Only this part, right? So not other parts. So only this part you can see in your syllabus. So then, okay. So if you can see this part, then what about the remaining things? So this IEEE representation. This was there in the early syllabus, but it was removed. I think maybe students find this difficult to convert. So that's why this is removed. But all papers, if you do, you can find this. For an example, if I have a number like 14.75, first you convert that to binary. 0.75 can 1, 1, 0.5, 0.25 to karam 0.75, 0.5 plus 0.25. Here it is 1110, 2 plus 4 plus 8. 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 4, 2 is 14, 14 point. So then you normalize. Normalize means you have to write as a plus number, since this is a positive number. 1 point as a 1 point number. 1 point, then 11011. 11011. Then how many positions you have moved? You can see it's 1 position, 2 position, 3 positions, then 2 to the power 3. First of all, you write a number like this. But you know, so our plan is to send everything using wires only by using ones and zeros. So you can't send the plus sign using wires. You can't send 2 using wires. And you can't use power 3 using wires, and multiplication and dot. You cannot send any of these things using wires. With the wires, 1 0 with the right. Only 1 0 is allowed. But here you have plus sign, dot, 2 to the power 3, multiplication. You cannot send anything using wires. So what is the representation? So basically, similar to the integer representation, plus is represented using sign 0. If it is negative, then sign will be 1. Then exponent, that is the power. This is 2 to the power 3. Actually, in this one, you are not going to represent directly 3. You are not going to write 3. 3 means 1, 1, no. You are not going to write 3. Instead of that, you are going to write 1, 2, 7 plus 3. So this is something abnormal. What is that? This is called bias. Bias. Bias එකක් කියලා කියනවා. Bias කියන්නේ අසාධාරණ අගයක්. හිතෙන ගාණක් වගේ. ඇයි මෙහෙම ගාණක් එකතු කරන්නේ? In case අපි හිතන්නේ මෙතන ඍණාව කියලා ඍණ බලයක් ආවා. දෙකේ ඍණ බලයක්. එතකොට මෙතනත් ඍණ සංඛ්‍යාවක් ඇවිල්ලා මෙතනත් ඍණාවොත් ඍණ දෙකක් තියෙනවනේ. එහෙම පෙන්වන්න කරදරයිනේ. ඒ හින්දා තමයි. So that is the reason. In case if you get a negative power, how to remove that? Add a positive value. Let's say you get negative 3 here. By adding 127, it will become positive 124. 127 plus negative 3 will be positive 124. So that's why bias is added. In case if you get a negative power, you can convert that to positive. Anyway, you can write that as 130, 127 plus 3. 3 is the power. 3 plus 127, 130. 130 you can break down as 128 plus 2. So you can write as 1 and another one here, 128 plus 2. So then this is the power part. Then the remaining decimal part. Remaining decimal part, that is 110. What is that? 110. 11011. 11011. And to finish, to make it 32-bit, you will add zeros to add in. 32ක් වෙන්න මදි ටිකට තමයි zeros දාන්නේ. එතකොට මේකට අපි කියනවා 32-bit floating point number එකක් කියලා. And then you can represent that in, like you can write 4 by 4 and write that in hexadecimal 2. This one you are not going to represent anywhere, and that is called hidden one. But anyway, the total things that we have learned here will not be asked in the exam. This part will not be asked in the exam. Just for the explanation purpose, you can write down if you need, but if you don't want, you can forget that also. If you think that is too much, forget that, right? That is totally okay. But what I have given, just one example, how to represent this using IEEE floating point. So to get an idea, you can write down, but don't worry, you won't get any question from here, this section. Okay, please write down the representation of non-integers or fractional numbers or real numbers or floating point numbers. Then please write down this note. That is about the floating point representation part. Okay, now we have actually come to end of the specific chapter. Actually, we have discussed, first of all, we discussed how number systems are represented, why binaries are needed, and then we discussed about the binary conversion of the number systems. Then we learned how we can convert decimal numbers and binary numbers. Also the hexadecimal, octal representation and short methods of doing that, converting in between the number systems. Then about the sign and magnitude, ones complement and twos complement representation, so which is used to represent the positive and negative integers. Then we learn about floating point representation of representing IEEE numbers in floating point way. And also we learn about some additional things about character representations, ASCII, BCD, EBCDIC like thing, and Unicode, right? So that is the full lesson. Actually, this is a long, so this from this you'll get few questions for your examination. Let's see a few of them. Actually, next day we have to start another critical lesson. So that is logic gate, a very critical one. So don't miss that. So because this is very, very important, and actually it will also cover a considerable proportion for your examination. So don't miss this lesson. My plan is to start that next day. So before finish, so let's see the methods. Actually, let's see some practical, let's see some papers, right? So how papers are given and what kind of questions will be given in the exam. So I want to show you 1 or 2 questions before we finish. In 2020 paper, you can see, so where's the questions? Is there any question from this? Okay, so you can see the question number 6 directly asking from this part that we have learned. So try to answer this question quickly. What is the 2's complement representation of, okay, what is the 2's complement representation of decimal number minus 12? Actually, I have given this, right? Okay. So what is the answer? The easy one. 2's complement representation of minus 12. Yes?
4, sir. 4.
Answer 4. Correct or wrong? Is it answer 4? So plus 12 will be 1100, right? Plus 12 will be 1100. Then minus 12 will be the invert of that. That means 11110011. And you have to add 1, right? 11110011 plus 1 will be 11110100. That is 4. Yes, that is 4. Correct. And then question number 7 is also from this area, this section. Question number 7, 8, both are from this. So try to answer 7 and 8 also. Try to answer 7 and 8 also. So what about question number 7 and what about question number 8? Take your time. So these questions are not difficult. It's easily you can get marks, right? If you know the method. So easily you can get marks for these questions. Okay, let's read the question. Which of the following is true about 2's complement? An extra bit is to represent sign bit? No. So it's not extra bit. So it's the first bit. First bit is used for sign bit. That is not true. Make is possible to build low cost, high speed hardware to perform arithmetic operations. Yes, you don't want subtracting operation. You don't have any subtraction or overflow bit re-addition issues. Therefore, it's really possible to make build low cost, high speed hardware. Addition and subtract use 2 different formats? No, both are same. Both are use additions. Usually represented in hexadecimal? No, represent in binaries. The first generation computers to perform logic operations? No, still we are using 2's complement. Right, then answer 2 is the correct one. I think it's easy, right? Did you understand that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then 8, question number 8. Question number 8. So there are 2 tables given, and which character encoding systems using below above characters in table 1 and table 2 are represented. So what are the character representation technologies used there? Count the number of characters. 1 digit means 4 bits. 1 hexadecimal digit represents 4 bits. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 into 4 is 16. 16 bit is what? Is that ASCII 16 bit? ASCII bit key at the ASCII one. How many bits in ASCII? We discussed last day. How many bits in ASCII? Note එක ලියාගත්ත මතකද? මතක නෑනේ. හේනුක? How many bits in ASCII? ASCII වල කීයක් තියෙනවද bit? Hello? ඇහෙනව නේද මාව?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how many bits in ASCII there? ASCII වල කීයක් තියෙනවද? BCD වල 4යි, MCD වල 8යි. ASCII වල කීයද? මතක නැද්ද ඔයාලට? Okay, ASCII you have 7 characters, right? අපි මේක discuss කරානේ පොතේ. අයි මෙච්චර අමතක වෙන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයාලට? මේ ළඟ මතක් කර කතා කරපු ඒවා. මේ ටික මම කතා කරේ නැද්ද? මට කියන්න කතා කරේ නැද්ද කියලා? BCD 4 bit, MCD 8 bits, ASCII 7 bits, extended ASCII 8 bits. Did we discuss or we didn't?
Yes.
Then 16 for Unicode, right? So then when you count the number of characters, so what is this? These are for, so this clear forward, the straightforward answer. Both table and 1 and 2 represent Unicode characters, right? Both are represented because ASCII has only 7 bits. MBCS has 8 bits. Here you have 16-bit codes. No? All are 16-bit codes. So those are Unicode. Okay, please remember the things. Otherwise, the things that we have learned, if you cannot remember, like it will be a wastage, right? Okay, so since we have discussed and finished the lesson, I'm going to stop from there for today. Right, I'll stop from there. Please look at the papers, 2019-18 papers. I'll remember these questions again next week and before starting logic gate part. And next day we'll discuss about the logic gate new lesson, right? So number systems is needed for many lessons, including networking, including Python, and a lot of other, so networking related, Python related things need number systems. Also logic gates, right? Here also they're asking so related questions. Therefore, please don't forget that lesson and keep it in the mind forever. So only thing is you have to practice. Okay, then see you all next week, Pute. So please remember the lesson, right? Otherwise it will be a waste. Okay, next day we'll start logic gate part.